Microsoft has won their case against the FTC. The judge even in their statement said this, that the FTC needed to prove that Microsoft was going to be very malicious. That's my word I'm using to describe this, not what the judge said. They needed to prove that Microsoft was going to be very malicious in how they leveraged their market share against Sony. And there just really wasn't any evidence to prove that Microsoft was going to do that. One of the things that the FTC tried to use was a court document that showed that Microsoft believed that in 2024, Nintendo could be announcing, or at the very least starting to announce, that a Nintendo Switch 2 could be coming out. The FTC tried to use that court document to say if Microsoft is doing this type of research into other companies, they could be identifying Activision as a way to increase their market share in a way that is malicious and push Sony out of this and use it as a way to keep Call of Duty off of Xbox or other exclusives. They're not going to honor the exclusive deals that Sony already has in place with Activision, things like that. Microsoft was going to be the bad guy. Sony was going to try to stop them. But essentially, the FTC just couldn't prove any of that. And I think the judge even said there's just not enough evidence to point to franchises like Call of Duty being maliciously kept off Sony. There's no indications that Xbox or Microsoft are not going to honor the exclusive deals in place from Activision to Sony. I think they said some of them are still in place until 2027, and then Microsoft is going to honor those. Call of Duty, they already put a deal in place for 10 years to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation and Xbox. So yeah, there just was no indication that Microsoft was going to do this, maliciously. Now, does that mean Microsoft is going to be the good guys from here on out and they're only here for the gamers and all that stuff? No. Are they going to be malicious in it? That's going to be the future thing here. So basically what I think is Microsoft is going to leverage their market share with Activision as much as they can, which, that's well within their right. But are they going to do it maliciously? There is nothing to say how exactly Microsoft is going to handle this just yet. The main point I get from this is if Microsoft doesn't get Activision, it's a huge blow to them. And me and my editor have had several discussions on the dynamic between Xbox and Sony. Why is Sony still outselling consoles? Why is Sony the not the king, but they are on the king of the hill at the moment in the console gaming world, in my opinion. Why is that? Well, let's say Microsoft tells you they're going to release 10 games this year. 6 of those games are going to be canceled. 2 to 3 of those remaining games in that pot are probably going to be awful, and those last 1 or 2 games are probably going to be and they're just not going to do well. Sony is going to tell you they're going to release 10 games. All of those games are going to release. 8 or 9 of them probably are going to be bangers and really good. And the other 1 or 2 are probably going to be pretty good. Fine. Microsoft has nothing to offer anyone except the Game Pass. And those are games that are not exclusive to Microsoft. Microsoft does not have a Naughty Dog or a Sucker Punch putting out incredible games all the time. Point to the studio within Microsoft right now, excluding Activision as of this point. What did Microsoft have before Activision that was a Naughty Dog or a Sucker Punch? Sony is the king of the console world right now. And there's a reason they did not want Microsoft to have Activision, because Microsoft's only play here is, well, we don't put out anything good. Hell, we barely put out games. So at this point, Microsoft just needs to start buying stuff up. Activision is a great buy for them. They probably should leverage their market share because that's the smart decision for them. It would be very stupid of them not to. Those are my thoughts. I tried to get them out pretty quick for you guys. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends, because I am desperate for external validation. Thank you.